Hey everybody, this is Erin from Flying Solo, coming to you today to talk to you a little bit about timelines for grief. I woke up this morning really thinking about a couple things that I have seen and read lately on different widows' posts, and gave me the flashback to a conversation I had previously on a grieving widowers page, which we all know how much I hate that word widow. um, But my thought process to talk to you today is really about the timelines. And the reason for that is I see so many posts on grieving spouse pages about timelines or when I should do this or when I should do that. And honestly, I want to tell you, there isn't a certain time that you should do any of it. If the day after they die, you decide you want to take your rings off, take your rings off. If 5 years later you still want to be wearing them, wear them. Does it matter? No. Is it important to anybody other than you? No. And if anyone tells you what you should or shouldn't do regarding the timelines for either taking off your rings, cleaning out their closets, selling your home, dating, any of that, that's not their choice to make. That's yours. And the reason I want to bring this up is because it's important that you acknowledge when you're ready to do something. Um, I was never a big ring wearer to begin with. I did wear my rings, but I stopped wearing them more during COVID because I was washing my hands so much. So when I went back to work post COVID and still wearing everything, I felt like I was washing my hands so much the rings were bothering me. Or with the weight loss and gain, they were moving around a lot and I just wasn't comfortable with them. So I didn't wear my rings as much. And I did take them off when I got home every night. So for me, taking my rings off didn't feel like that big of a deal because I did it on a regular basis anyway. I did though for probably a year after John passed, where his wedding band, my wedding, and my wedding band, maybe even my engagement ring on a chain. I had a really long chain that I wore that it tucked inside my shirt, and then eventually had a little pendant with his fingerprint on it that I wore for a while. But and I wore it like that for about a year. But my rings came off really quickly because, as I said, I didn't wear them on a regular basis anyway. Um, I also cleaned John's closet up really quickly. He probably wasn't even gone. He may have been gone about a month, and I decided to start cleaning out my closet. Um, that kind of started because I wanted to give Drew the dresser that was in the room, and I wanted to rearrange my bedroom, and I wanted to do some other things in there that I didn't want the furniture. I was trying to make the space mine. That was the first time really since I moved into this house that I had a space that was mine, other than this space right here in our basement that I have made my Flying Solo headquarters. So rearranging my bedroom and purging John's clothes out of the closet, that's what I worked with me because I was healing me. Um, and I'm also not one that has a sentimental attachment to clothing. We did pull a few things aside. My mom took some of his old t-shirts and made pillows with them. She took home dress shirts and made teddy bears with them and even framed a little piece of the clothing. Excuse me. Framed a little piece of their clothing in like an ornament type frame. Excuse me. For us to have and hang up on a regular basis. So those are things we did for us that was comfortable for us. So the Christmas after John passed, my mom gave us all the teddy bears that she'd made for each of us, and each one of them had something stitched on the foot. Mine just had John's initials. The kids, I think, said dad or daddy on them. But those were ways for them to keep an attachment to their father while also we were moving forward and moving on with our grief and processing how we were feeling. Oh, sorry, something all of a sudden is giving me the sneezes. So think about this when next time somebody tells you or asks you why you're still wearing your wedding rings or why you're not wearing your wedding rings anymore and why you cleaned out closets so quickly or why you've done this or why you've done that. Other than making any major life decisions, I would say wait a year. But those are major. But that's because you're still processing your grief. And that first year really is a hard one and you're trying to figure everything out. But getting stuff out of your bedroom and rearranging your life the way you want to do it, that's your timeline to do when you're ready to do it. And not a minute before and not a minute later when you're ready. And if you have any questions, please send me an email flying solo coaching at gmail.com or comment on this video. I would love to talk to you. Thanks. Bye.